compete with his duo on that stage. They are in the solos competition, but it's the duo of Cat taking walls, able to clutch up in the last moment. He talked about it, had a great performance, but again, just cannot stress enough. Everyone in this top 5 had been so close so many times over and over again. The level of consistency was absurd. Let's actually take a look at some of the gameplay that Sosman was able to put together last night and just run through. Here we go. Right now, you can see him rocking that skin. And actually, it's funny because 3 of the 5 solo qualifiers who came out of Oceania were rocking that nice little outfit there and showing off why. You can see Sosman able to put in work with the combat, using those new shadow bombs as well for good effectiveness. And you can tell particularly for Sosman where he strives is in these box fights when he's the aggressor. If he is going forward and he gets the first shot and he's the one dictating the pace, he's very much so able to close these fights out, and he's continually looking to go from target to target. You can see here holding that player off, hitting the headshot right after. Brilliantly done from Sosman, very much so deserved. But again, there was another region that finished up last night, and it was Riddle Moffin who took it away. KGA Sexy Boy, you have to feel so bad because he was again 1 point short. But Moffin has been up there in the top 5, and he showed his consistency last night, winning it out. And one other thing I do want to note about all these scores, typically in Oceania and Asia, where you have only a single spot, you'll see a lot higher. You'll see somebody with a triple-digit score or people pushing the pace. All last night, the entire front page of the leaderboard, single digits in the top 10. The entire competition has whoop, and it's only going to get more tense. Let's take a look at some of the gameplay we had last night coming out from Moffin and what enables him to be successful. Now, the key here for Moffin is finding himself in these kind of early rotation zones on the high ground where he's able to get shots and enable him to rifle fire. Yes, he can go aggressive and play in the close quarters combat with the best of them as well, but where he in particular succeeds is when he's enabled in that situation, able to get off rifle and sniper shots. You can see here, still going to work with that combat, but now dropping down, has the heavy sniper out in pretty much every opportunity, but he's not afraid to drop down in the storm, take a couple ticks there when necessary. You can see him catching the player there, just trying to knock out the builds, getting some trade. But watch here, he half edits the ramp so he gets just enough coverage to then trade the rifle fire out. Really, really well done there. And now we're gonna punch their tickets to New York City.
Do you want to do Oshie?
I'll get the first one.
All right, there you go. And of course, boop. There you go. So congratulations to Sosman, aka Rona Season, and Moffin XD. Now we actually do and have a interview with Sosman. It's very late for him, so let's go ahead and take a little bit of his time just to say what's up, see how things are going. Sosman, my man, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you guys?
Oh, we're even better now that we're gonna get to talk to you. How late is it where you're at right now?
It's 3:38 a.m. at the moment.
Wow.
So I guess we should be asking how early it is there, man. But I know we talked a little bit. Phoenix right away, as soon as he saw you, one was hit me up saying, you have to interview Sosman. So what was that final moment like when you saw you on the leaderboard, saw you in the top spot, and you knew you took the last qualification spot out of Oceania? What was going on?
Well, I kept just running around, like upstairs and downstairs, talking to my parents and people on Discord, and then like when everyone said that the 2 people that were contending were dead, I thought I qualified. And then out of nowhere, Alec drops like a 12 kill win and a 14 kill win and is 1 point behind. And I thought that really scared me. But yeah, I don't know. I was just so excited.
I can only imagine, like I said, running around the entire house. What was your parents' reaction? Did they kind of understand how big of a deal it was? Did they understand why you were sprinting around the entire house? Or were they kind of like, what's up?
They knew it was a pretty big deal to me when I came, because I told them about the second that when I placed second in week 5. And yeah, they just kept asking, are you sure you've qualified? Are you sure? And I said, yeah, yep. And I don't know, it was just insane.
Okay. Now, how do you feel, now that the next step is the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Are you going to compete in the next week's duo competition at all? Or are you just going to like put full focus into the finals? And, are you ready to go toe-to-toe with all these other regions, all these other all-stars?
Well, I'll definitely focus on duos for the final week with Kat. And then once that's over, depending on how I place in the duos, I'll just focus on solos. and I'll probably have to switch up my gameplay because OC is kind of different to how people play in New York. I'd imagine.
Totally understandable there, Sosman. Great answer. Last question I want to ask you. What's it going to be like to be competing on that stage with Kat, since both of you have now qualified for the solos competition? Did you kind of share a moment afterward knowing you'll both be going to New York City?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to know that we've both achieved it. It was awesome.
Nice, man. Well, last thing we want to get from you is any shout-outs you want to give. Plug your socials. Get those on in there, man.
Yeah, I'll just plug my Twitter, which is Sosman with 2 N's, and then obviously my duo, CatFNBR, and then my longtime friend in the scene, GlockDFN.
There you go.
His Twitter.
There you go. Well, Sosman, massive congrats. You're going to the finals. We can't wait to see you there.
Yeah.
When we meet up in New York, we'll have
is separated by 6. That's nuts. And these, like, I can't wait for the games. It's going to be incredible.
Well, you don't have to wait much longer, Sundown, because we need 2 casters on deck to get us into all the action. Let's get Courage JD and Monster D Face up on stage. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, Zeke and Sundown. Yes, the day has finally come. The last chance for players to qualify for the Solo World Cup Finals. Monster, ready to have a great day together.
We are indeed. And just looking at that leaderboard, man, seeing Teak up there, seeing Sky up there, and Dretta, these players have been just kind of rocking
I'm rooting
out.
for Mongrel. The game's ready to go. Without further ado, let's hop into the action. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The final opportunity for players to punch their ticket to the New York City World Cup Finals later on this year in July. And here's what we're talking about when the games change on Sunday. 50 players in this lobby. Absolutely insane stuff, Monster, as this is going to be stacked throughout the day.
Yeah, last night we got to kind of close out the show. We saw the difference in the lobbies. Was not this stacked, if you want to call it that, but now we have 50 players. Look at the congestion. Then we also talk about, do you want redeploy or do you want to be floating around all these players? You don't, because look how many players are just kind of parked up everywhere. There's so much risk that goes into setting up shop out here. And that's how much more is riding on the line now, as these are their final chances, their actual final chances to make it to New York City. Bakito nearly messes up there, almost chokes the shot, but he manages to connect. And that's going to be his first elim.
Because look at Bakito's inventory. 16 total AR shots, 11 total shotgun shots. Bakito needs to grab this ammo on the ground. I think they will do just that. Is now back up to 114 shadow bombs as well for a little bit more mobility. A very, very important elimination as Bakito is now set up to be able to put in a little bit more pressure as this game goes on. And the overbuild there, I like that a lot. Recognizing that there's a lot of extra building up a second layer and still now being at max in that material, giving themselves a ton of cover. Look, doing it even more. Love this from Bakito.
Yeah, definitely an impact elimination right there. It's going to set him up real nice. And whoa, Julian come way up at the dropship here. It should be off already. Yeah, you can see there's no animation anymore. So he's got a flint knock. That's going to be his way to get down. Very, very lucky of him to have something to kind of hop off of this place.
Yep.
The flint.
And we do know that sometimes the trap inventory doesn't load in the spectator client, so he might have a launch pad. But no, this is probably going to come down to a flint knock type play. And there on the right side of your screen, something we're going to be seeing a lot of today. the Storm surge in these late game scenarios, in general, due to how many players are still alive and still active. Julian did get one. Still peeking on
it's
out.
crazy because he's so high up, these guys don't even see him. Oh, he also has a baller. Yeah, he's got no problem.
That's
right
how
now.
they'll wind up getting down. Cool.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a couple options. And worst case scenario, he gets shot out. I mean, he's going to be able to save himself with the flint. So he is good to go. Out goes Julian Combs. He just kind of hops on out. And now to your boy Mongrel here. You're rooting for him, eh?
Yeah, Mongrel is kid's a freak of nature in this game, and he's an absolute beast. Doesn't even have a shotgun right now. We saw Mongrel was top 10 prior to this game. As now we'll continue to push forward. One thing we did notice, Mongrel, of anyone on that top 10 list, had the most games played.
Was he at about 6 or 5 or so, yeah?
5 with, I believe, 30-something, 37 points.
You know, it doesn't even put him out, though. We're about an hour, 15 minutes left in queue, so honestly, you want to be at least the halfway mark. So he's got a couple games chucked out of there. He's totally fine to still play several end games. And oh boy, Bakito, we saw him going in just a little bit ago. Is going to get taken out.
That was the elim Mongrel needed. Mongrel did all that in the zone just to be able to get some materials, but only wound up getting 5 extra builds. And you see the quickness in how fast Mongrel can edit and fully tunnel, but keep the sprint going. That is, in that full sprint, it's wall, roof, edit, wall, roof, without stopping a sprint once.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult to hit that stride and not mess up, especially under these intense circumstances. Just imagine what the audio, the sensory overload going on right now. There's 15 players nearby.
Still 16 players remaining. We're top 15 is more placement points. Mongrel knows this. Looks like he's sending it right on through. That player escapes in the baller for now. Mongrel down to 33 health left outside this zone. This is not looking good at the moment. Now continuing to be challenged. Finds a launch pad, though, and immediately gets to the high ground. Is anyone above?
I don't think so. I think he just managed to take this high ground free of charge, but he's got to pause here. He's trying to heal back up. And placement points have all been divvied out at this point, so breaking that top 15 is another big threshold here. Mongrel's got his heavy sniper loaded. What's he going to do?
Well, right now he's just trying to conserve these materials. That's why he's dropping down, getting close to these enemies. He's got to force something to happen, using every little bit to the best of his abilities, trying to break into his opponent. Gets the wall replaced, the elimination comes through. Down goes Flawless. Now in our top 11, Mongrel continuing to build on out. Has picked up another mini, still now at 60 builds. Has earned more there, and again, the speed is just absolutely insane when you watch him play. It is mind-blowing. Nate, all the way though, on the high ground.
Yeah, and there's still 2 players in ballers. 1 left now. Average, by the way, is just kind of hopping around here. You can see players in the low ground are all forced to fight each other right now. Full has 0 ping, is about to go down to Webb here. He's got his last moments in this lobby coming up close. Can Maggio hit the shot? And he does. Bacon Fist goes down right there. Average as well goes down to the Storm.
Yep.
And that's going to be 2 big eliminations. He's back at max health right now and a launch pad. This is very intense here.
To make this happen.
3 players. 3 other players, I should say. This Mongrel's taking on Nate here. Infantry rifle, poor at putting pressure upwards. And Mongrel's already declining now. He's jumping down. Mag wins another engagement against Webb here. It's toe-to-toe, and Mongrel ends that run. And now it's Mongrel versus Nate.
Mongrel's got the bandages. Mongrel's got the bandages. And is just going to decide to box up and try to bandage and heal through this. 1 bandage being popped. It's going to come down to a heal battle at the end for Mongrel. Can he get the second? Is there enough time? He wins it. The 1 bandage makes the difference. And with 5 HP, Mongrel gets the victory royale with 7 eliminations, pushing on up to 36 points.
There's only one statement that can explain that situation better. It's the no hesitation on Mongrel. Catches the elim right away, immediately goes
Mikey,
off the bend.
you should watch the stream.
That's why he's ahead by several ticks in those final moments.
His moves, his thought process, it is insane. The man's still looking to qualify for solos. He's been so consistent in duos, but has been pretty public on social media about some of his struggles in solos. As Right now, again, this is the last opportunity, folks. Everything on the line this week to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup Finals Solos competition. The last spots will be determined today. An hour and 11 minutes left in the queues in Europe. Ryu right now on your screen trying to drop this player down into the trap and does just that. Goodbye, Siberia. Have a good queue.
And that's one of the cleanest ways to catch an elimination. Catch him off guard. You place it right underneath the box. That's why you don't want to sit too close to an opponent, especially when armed with traps. You can just go either which way.
Yep, Ryu knew exactly the advantage that he had right there. Socio spraying down at what looks like a drop coming in. Skite, someone who was in the top 10, currently boxed it up. Again, this is the road of how Skite wound up getting there. 15 points right now. Obviously, if they're in the top 10, you got a little bit higher on the live servers, but we're catching up to speed. Making sure you all know the full story today. 39 players remaining in this one. Just a reminder for everyone at home, top 25 is where you start earning placement points. And that goes up in small increments up to the max score of 10 points you can get for a victory royale.
And just hitting that 25 threshold is so difficult. Players start to really slow down.
Yep.
As you approach closer and closer, you realize, you know what? I don't have to take risk right now. Let me just wait for an opportunity. And that's why you can see the congestion here with 39 players remaining. No one wants to go first and kind of wait for the zone, as this entire region has now hit a bit of a stalemate, right? Bit of a standoff here, if you will. These players are waiting to see what can happen. 7 seconds remain until the storm is revealed, and then things are really going to pop off.
Absolutely, and still, we mentioned the players are in the lobby, what, 40 seconds ago, a minute ago, and there's still 39 left. No one has dropped. As this is slowed down, but when the zone moves, that's when realistically all hell breaks loose, and that's what you're seeing on your screen right now. Edits coming in, builds pushing out. You've got a minigun being fired. Skite trying to go for high ground, has 102 builds remaining.
Yeah, Skite's still in the running here.
The
The
redeploy.
redeploy is going to work out really nicely here, but he's going to get chipped down by a ton of players. Lands on someone. Can he put a trap down? Doesn't look like he's armed with one, but it is okay. Lucky for him, he does not jump out of the box and pressure him. As Skite is being super cautious now. He has to heal up. Finds a
Nice.
headshot. 120. Great tracking on Skite, who's a veteran. He's been a veteran on the competitive scene since the summer skirmish days. Good to see him back out here. Good form right now. Can he find his second piece right here? He's on the hunt. He's eating a lot of storm damage, trying to find himself a little place of safety here.
There's really no option. I think that's a smart play from Skite. Skite has bandages, right? And look at the builds. My
So
goodness. But yeah, you got bandages. You build on in, you take some storm hits, great. Right there, Skite got a free path in without having to worry about enemies, while taking and only suffering 25 damage because once he gets healed with bandages. I feel like you can't be too upset with that.
Yeah, not only that, he's being efficient. He's not blocking his rear end towards the storm because he knows he's safe. Catches a player with his blueprints out. He lands a big 105 right there. That epic AR, perfect for pressuring through players, especially in wooden builds. That is a very weak structure regardless of how much health it has. You can see a shadow bomb player right above him. This guy is looking upwards, trying to see if he can find an opportunity there. But just the fact that he's not in the low ground right now is allowing him to just kind of continue to keep pressure without getting too much in return here. Now the rotation once again, just holding the storm line. That's a big placement point right there. Top 15 here, Courage.
And Skite, we hopped on board, had max materials now down to just 21 builds. That just shows how much Skite has tunneled through these last few zones. I like that, spraying at the metal before it gets any stronger. Fully built metal this late in the game would take a lot to break, and there's another great combat shotty. Engagement.
He thought about going for the mats and stuff like that. Saw the baller kind of scoop on through and yoink it up. Couldn't get it. Find someone right out of the storm. It's Marcus, but there's another player in the storm. He knows it. He does try to track right there, but left his top side open just a little bit. Finds the beast just in time to keep him in the game.
And Skite more than happy again. It takes a little bit of storm damage just to reposition. Goes in the storm for a second. Takes 10 damage. That's fine.
Look at how well he does reading the storm here.
Yep. This is one of the most challenging parts of the game, is this late storm movement. Rezus on the high ground. You've got 3 players on low, all fighting within 1 box of each other. Skite holding the edit, drops one player in. There goes Ryu, who we were watching earlier on. The other player just a weak as well. Yes, Zol cut down by the combat shotty. Skite now 1 versus 1. And the player on height has begun to drop down. It's Rezes, who's landed in the tree. Skite knows this. Skite's going to try to spray down this tree in hopes that Rezes just has to drop with the redeploy. That should be a free elimination for Skite. There's no way. You're not going to be able to drop on in onto a player like Skite and get away with it. He knows it as well. 8 elims, victory royale, jumps up to 33 points.
Way to turn that game around for the Lestream boys. Skite really clutching up in those final moments, holding his composure, and more importantly, just storm coasting right along those outsides, guys, allowing him to save material and come out on top. But we're hopping into the next round here. You saw Skite, previous victor, here trying to make his way in the top 10, guys. Don't forget, he's in contention right now for making it through the Worlds, guys. Is their final opportunity here for the European region. We've already punched the tickets for OCE. Here we have Zestin, lands a boogie bomb. Can he make it in time? Decides to double up on it. Says, you know what? Let's start this party again here. Finds Fixie with a nice 1-2.
And is there any more of a frustrating way to go down in a game right there? Double boogie, no chance to really defend yourself. Zestin heads up play, utilizing every bit you can get in these super stacked lobbies. Monster, a lot of times you don't get to loot all you want. I can promise you, you're not landing at a spot uncontested. You're getting some scraps and having to make the most of it. And right there, keeping the boogies for a moment like that, so smart. As you guys know, we catch up with replays.
If you like this video,
how these top players have made it to where they
subscribe.
are. We just watched Skite win that last game. Here's the game after.
$400
now at 34 points.
Next Friday.
Staying boxed up for the
You
moment.
gotta make sure you're subscribed and leave a
Door
comment.
nearby. He might actually try to make something happen.
No way.